again, and we're all together once again as usual. We're here every Friday. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for being along with us for this Friday. And of course, it's the end of the week, into the weekend. Of course, a lot of you look forward to because you work hard all week. And here we are finally all together again. Thank you so much for being along with us. We're going to be here for the next hour as usual. And we're here every Friday between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So those of you who are in different time zones, set your clocks accordingly, and you'll find us and you'll never miss us. So thank you so much for being along. Now, if you're here for the first time, we thank you so much for being here, and we want to invite you to come back again and again. So make it your weekly habit as you come along with us. Later on in the program, we've got the 2020 feature, 20 past the hour. Brian Camp will be along with sports update with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And then 22 the hour, DJ Pete will be here with entertainment information. Of course, he's going to recite all of those birthdays of people of notoriety of the week. And of course, we'll give you updates on our movies, our picks of Turner Classic movies of the week. And you'll have something to occupy you for the weekend, at least part of the weekend anyway. All of that's coming up, and it's you and I. And if you have anything to say, of course, you are welcome to be along and, type in your information or whatever you want to talk about. I'll see it right there on the big screen. I will acknowledge you, get in on the conversation. What do you know? Welcome back. Facebook. Facebook. We're back on Facebook. We were on, I don't want to use the word hiatus because that wasn't the case. That would be too delicate. But we were off for 30 days. And I guess you could say it, to be more blunt about it, we were in jail for 30 days as far as broadcasting was concerned. But we did all of our broadcasting on YouTube. So I want to say hi to you guys on YouTube as well as Facebook as well. We simulcast every week between YouTube and Facebook. So if you don't find us on one, we'll certainly be on the other. Now, getting back to what we were saying about being off the air for a while, we were off for 30 days. And because of that, because the fact it's known as, in Facebook language, being in jail. Now, a situation happened where we were, I don't know, we posted something like maybe way over a year ago, and it came back and bit us. And then Facebook decided that we're going to lock you up for 30 days because that's not in our standards. So, and it was a simple post. It wasn't nothing derogatory because we never do anything like that. Never. See, what we do is that we post things, but sometimes funny things, and nothing too political or anything like that. It was just a simple post of something. Now, I'm not going to say what it was, but if you go onto my Facebook page, what you'll find out, you'll see what I posted and why they decide to put us in jail for 30 days. You'll see that it's all there. And it's something simple. And when you see it, you're going to say, what? Are you kidding? Just for that? Nevertheless, we're back. And we got back, as a matter of fact, yesterday. We were doing our show last night, Talk Back Live. And we were on for the first time, too, since that time as well. So, and along with being on Facebook and YouTube together, that makes the show much better. So we were on. And I was checking the time. It came on, I think, 4:16 in the afternoon, Eastern Time, because I was monitoring it. So that's exactly what happened. Exactly 4:16 Eastern Time, we were back in action, and then we went on the air at 8 o'clock that night. So now we're back, and I don't know if there's a lesson to be learned here or maybe more questions to be answered. And even to this day, right now, I don't understand why they did it, why they decided that they wanted to lock us up. It was something that was so simple. But nevertheless, we're back, and that's the most important thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's raise our cups together, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So, salute. Okay. Of course, we're here. I want to say hello to DJ Pete. He's here. I see him in the house right now. So good morning to you, DJ Pete. William, how are you? I just explained that, William. We weren't convicted. It wasn't a crime. It was just one of those things of Facebook. Those of you who are on Facebook, by the way, understand that sometimes you can be uh, knocked off Facebook for almost any reason now. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you, and I've heard the stories before, how people got knocked off Facebook because of something that was just so simple and they didn't understand why. And I could understand music. You don't want to play music on Facebook, not in full. That's why a lot of people, if you notice, when they go on the videos, they play music in the background, but they also note that they do not own the rights to this music. They always, that's like a disclaimer, so they don't get knocked off of Facebook. But little things like that. So and then something. The thing about it too, about Facebook, is that you have no way of getting in touch with anyone that's in charge, any kind of administrator or anything like that. Let's say if you have a problem like I did, you want to go back to them and find out what the problem was, why we did this, and it was so simple, and they can give you a simple answer. But there are no phone numbers, there are no emails or websites or anything to contact administration on Facebook. And so if you have a problem, and we all have problems, and there were a lot of technical problems over the years on Facebook, and they still go on and on and on, and you have no way of contacting them to find out what the problem is, the only way you could know is if there's a technical problem on your part, you would contact maybe a person or one of your fellow Facebook people, one of your friends, and find out if they have the same problem. And if they do, then you know, okay, it's a technical problem due to Facebook, but Facebook will never, tell you about it on why it happened, or when you are kicked off Facebook, why were you kicked off Facebook? Oh, I got kicked off Facebook because I didn't comb my hair right when I was on the air. Like, a lot of things happen. But we're back in action. That's the most important thing. And so listen, as we always start the show, let's clap our hands. I want to clap my hands, especially for all of you. All of you in Facebook land and YouTube, clap, because you make this show possible. And because without you not being out there, I wouldn't be here. It wouldn't make any sense to be here because I'd be talking to myself. So I just want to give that hand clap to all of you. And also, while I'm clapping, I want to give that hand clap to all of the people, like the people who work in hospitals, the doctors, the nurses, and all other hospital personnel members who have been around, along with people like the firefighters, police officers, or first responders, all of them who have been around all of this time since the pandemic have begun. People, mom and pop stores, all the big merchants, grocery stores, supermarkets, and all of those places stayed open for your convenience, even though the pandemic was really heavy in the beginning. Well, now it seems like we're taking a step backwards, and we thought we had the hang of this thing, and I sincerely thought we did. But it seems like we have another pandemic rising again. We're into, in spite of the COVID-19, in conjunction with the COVID-19, we have what they call the Delta variant. And we have a second variant coming along, I understand, coming along. It could be stopped, and the only way that could be stopped if people just take it easy and take care of themselves. And we always urge people to get vaccinated. It's available to everyone. Whether you go to your doctor or your pharmacist, now your doctor may have a supply of it. And of course, you can go to any place that would administer the vaccination to you. And again, that could be a pharmacist. They have trucks out on the street that pull up right in front of the curb, and they have places where you can get vaccinated. They have places where you can get tested, all over the place. All you have to do is email, find out where the location is. They have trucks that come out there. You want a free test, and that's good. And it seems to me, at least here in New York, as we already know, that, and it started, I believe, the day before yesterday, where people, merchants, store owners, bars, restaurants, bistros, places like that, not all, but some, are taking the liberty of asking you for your passport. And what I mean by that, that's the card that you get to prove that you were vaccinated. They're asking for that so you can dine indoors. If you want to dine indoors, you're going to have to present that to some places. A lot of people are up in arms about that, but understand something, we have to protect each other. We have to protect the people who are vaccinated, and we want to protect the people who aren't vaccinated. And the people who aren't vaccinated, please, jump on it. Now, for whatever reason, there are a lot of reasons why people don't get vaccinated. People, it may be a religious reason. It could be medical, you know, and but the thing that other people talk about is that it's political. They politicize it, and it's a lot that's been going on with that, and people are not taking it for those reasons. May be a chip in there that may control you, maybe turning out the zombies, and when I hear that, when someone says, "Oh, later on we may be turned to zombies," that just reminds me of a movie, a Will Smith movie that you remember a long time ago, I Am Legend. Well, it's only a movie, folks. It's just a movie. I encourage you to take it. It's not a demand. It's not, I push the idea because I just love to see people be healthy and just come in and just do their thing and help others. And if you have children, of course, they have the mask mandation and all of that. And if you have children, of course, you want to protect your children. If anyone else, if you don't care whether you live or whether you die, at least care about the people that surround you, like your husband and your wife, or your children, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your grandmothers, the elderly, all of these people who have these I guess diseases that they're trying to conquer as old age people, and that just makes them more vulnerable to the disease, to the virus, and you want to make sure that you protect them. And so the way to do that, again, is follow all the protocols, but continue to wear your mask, use the hand sanitizers. Remember in the beginning when we first started, way over a year ago, people were wearing gloves. It was that bad. I don't see people wearing gloves too much. Some people are. The only people I see wearing them are people handling foods, coffee, and things like that, which they have to do anyway. But they stop wearing gloves because anything you touch could be anything. But if you're not wearing gloves, of course, take hand sanitizer with you. I think it's very important. It's very important to me, and it should be to you. Brian Camp is in the house, just walked in, so Brian will be here in just a few minutes with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Ask for the right to publicly face your accuser and have them. I don't really understand that, William. If you want to, expand on that one, I'd be willing to listen to that. If you could expand on that a little bit more. But anyway, we're here and we've got the weather forecast. Those of you who are coming in, please, if you're outside of New York, don't worry about New York. If you're outside of New York, give us a little weather forecast and let us know what your weather looks like. We have a weather forecast for you. As a matter of fact, we are going to present that weather forecast to you right now. How about that? Let's do that right now. Right now, it's sunny outside. The sun is in and out here in New York City, but it seems that as the weekend goes on, it's going to get a little damp. So we have to expect that. We got a hurricane coming along, and we have tornadoes and everything. This one called Harry, that's coming along. I think his name is Harry. They have so many names. I just lost track of all the names. Anyway, it's Friday, and it's the 20th day of August, and it looks like this for today. Rain showers early, becoming more intimate for the afternoon. We'll have a high around 83 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain will be 40%. And as I said, 83 degrees will be the high. For tonight, mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. We'll have a low 73 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. Saturday, for tomorrow, this is only New York, by the way. Mostly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorms is possible, and we'll have a high around 85 degrees. Winds will be east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Saturday night, an isolated thunderstorm is possible during the evening hours, and then occasional showers overnight. We'll have a low 74 degrees. Winds will be north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 60%. And as we wrap up our weekend for Sunday, if you're headed out to church or whatever you're going to do, please take your umbrella with you, please, because it looks like this. Rain likely, partial to heavy rain downfall. You see what I mean about taking an umbrella? You might want to build an ark as well. We'll have a high around 81 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 90%. So it's like almost a guarantee that it will rain. 1 to 2 inches of rainfall expected. So that's how it looks for the weather forecast here in New York. And we go back to our temperature. As we said, it's 80 degrees right now. That's what we're having presently. So please keep everything in mind. When you come in, give us your weather forecast as well. We'll be looking forward to it. It's now coming up to 16 minutes past the hour here. And wherever you are in your area, we hope that you're doing well. We hope that, by the way, your weather is a little better than ours. As the weekend falls, especially Sunday, that's when Sunday looks like it's going to be the dampest of it all. So take that umbrella and, that's what you do. Excuse me while I shoot up. I'm really glad to be back on Facebook. I was really excited yesterday, last night when we did the show Talk Back Live, and I'm looking at. I just couldn't wait to get on the air. I mean, it was great. I mean, we were on the whole time because we were on. While we weren't on Facebook, we were on YouTube. So we simulcast each week. So if you don't find us on Facebook, or I mean, if you're not on Facebook, you can always go to YouTube. We always post at the site. And you could link to us that way. Now, if you're going to watch us constantly on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, just do that. You can do that right now, as a matter of fact. Subscribe to it. This way, you'll never miss a show. You'll always be contacted. No phone calls or anything, but you get an email, a notification that we're on the air. And whatever we post on YouTube, you'll see that. You'll be notified. Even if we post just an ordinary video or whatever we do on YouTube, you can get that information and you'll be notified about that. So you don't want to ever miss a show, okay? Because it's doing. And so let me see, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about a few things last night on Facebook. For instance, we were talking about the coronavirus, and here's another good reason to get tested. I don't want to linger on it too much, or another reason to get vaccinated. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, you know about him, right? And Texas Governor Greg Abbott, right? Monday evening, he was, I can't remember, I guess in his own state. He was in Texas, his own state. He was at one of those Republican meetings or whatever it was. It was kind of crowded too. I saw the video. It was kind of crowded. And he didn't have a mask on. And of course, he's one of the ones that says, well, there shouldn't be a mask mandate or anything. He's one of the ones. So he's in this crowd of people, and wouldn't you know it, he winds up with COVID-19. Now, I'm not sure if he was vaccinated or not. Not talking about a mask mandate and being vaccinated. Those are two different things. I'm not sure if he was vaccinated or not. I hope he was, and I hope that when he developed COVID-19, I hope it's a really mild case. I don't want anything to happen to anyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you're good or evil or whatever. I don't want to see anyone go through this, and I don't want to see when it comes to a time where people decide they're going to beat up someone else because they're wearing a mask or they're not wearing a mask. I hope it doesn't get to that situation, because there are already fights. There are a lot of demonstrations in the street. People are angry, and people are angry at people who are wearing masks, say they shouldn't wear a mask, take that mask off, and you're not going to go over there and pull a mask. I wouldn't advise that at all. If you're thinking about that, I think twice about that, trying to pull a mask off someone. I wouldn't advise that. Live and let live, that's what I say. And if people decide that they don't want to wear a mask, well, the best thing that you can do is just not congregate with those kind of people. You don't want to do that. So anyway, you have to stay safe and protect other people. We're going to talk more about that when we come back. But right now, I'm going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, as promised, and we're going to talk to Brian Camp by telephone with the latest developments in today's world of sports. It's all sports update, and it's all yours, Brian.
Good morning to everybody out there on the Coffee Hour. Welcome back to Facebook and to the people out there on YouTube. Good morning to everybody that I see out there. Good morning to Naoto. Good morning to Pete. And good morning to whoever else is out there. Say good morning. It's good. I'm not going to say it's good to be back on Facebook. Me personally, I took a sabbatical from Facebook, and I still am. The only reason why I'm on Facebook today is because of the show. As soon as the show goes off, I deactivate my account. And the reason why I do this here is because, the last 3 administrations that we had for our presidents, has been so much hatred going around between the Democrats, the Republicans, and the Independents. I've lost quite a few friends over matters of politics. I don't give a darn. I'll say that I don't give a damn of what Barack Obama has done. I definitely did not give a damn about what Donald Trump did. And I'm not too keen about this president right here, Joe Biden. I think he's going to be a one-term president, but I'm not here to talk about politics. And I've seen it all on social media. I've seen the hate being thrown at. I've seen the dislike. We're in the middle of a pandemic. And even with the pandemic, there's people are just arguing and fighting over this vaccine. People are dying. People have asthma. They can't even get into a hospital or get a bed because there's no more beds. So, yes, you have your right to do whatever you want, but for me, I'm just fed up. I get tired of watching Facebook. I just get tired of seeing the hatred going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So if you don't see me on Facebook, because I'm just getting tired of the politics and the BS and all of that. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to be locked up in Facebook jail. I could care less because I'm not on there as much anyway. So it doesn't matter. But this is the reason why I'm not on Facebook. Will I come back on other occasions? Sure, probably will until things just get better. And that's my take. But here in Charlotte, North Carolina, it is a beautiful day. It's 81 degrees, going up to 89 degrees. It's going to be cloudy for most of the day. I'm a little ticked off because my smoker went out, and I'm having an event coming up, and I will, as soon as the show's over, I will get another smoker, because as a smoker, you got to make sure that you still maintain your smoking abilities and smoking techniques and everything. But let me get the sport. In the National Football League, the Atlanta Falcons believe to be the first NFL team to be 100% vaccinated against COVID-19. I think we should all give them a round of applause, clapping for them as big legs for the Atlanta Falcons. And Atlanta has been proactive with vaccinations in the community as well, offering vaccines as its preseason games last Friday. Falcons did have 5 players on the reserve COVID-19 list at the start of training camp, but all have since been removed from the list. Vaccinations is required for all, when I said all NFL coaches, it's a must. Also with the front office executives, equipment managers, and scouts. Now, players are not required to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. This is part of per agreement with the National Football Players Association. And that's why a lot of players get court tested, they come up positive, they can't get paid, they miss out. But again, that's your belief. If you don't want to take the shot, that's on you. But just think about others. Major League Baseball, a T206 Harness Wagner baseball card sold for $6.6 million. It shattered the highest selling sports card of all time. Now, the previous 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle baseball card, and that was sold for $5.2 in January. A record later, it was later on in April, was matched by a 2004 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection LeBron James autographed rookie jersey card in April. Everybody enjoyed the Field of Dreams, the movie and the Yankees and the White Sox. Guess what? It's coming back next year. This time the Chicago Cubs are playing the Cincinnati Reds and will meet in the 2022 edition of Major League Baseball in Dyersville, Iowa. The field was made from scratch, from a cornfield, built to hold 8,000 fans next to an actual diamond where the 1989 movie Kevin Costner came back to the game between the Yankees and White Sox, and he threw out the first ball. He shook all the players' hands. So this is nostalgia, and they're bringing it back for next year. Also, here's a little sad note, a little news that really pissed off a lot of people. Detroit Tigers TV analyst Jack Morris said he did not intend for any offensive thing on Tuesday night's game. With the game tied 2-2 in the top of the sixth inning, outfielder Juan Legros had struck out, and Los Angeles Angels superstar Japanese phenomenon Shohei Ohtani came up to bat next. Now, Bally Sports Detroit play-by-play announcer Matt Shepard asks, now, what do we do with Shohei Ohtani? Jack Morris, who's a Hall of Famer, said in a Japanese accent, be very, very careful. Now, everybody have a way of speaking. Some people have thick accents according to their ethnic groups. If they're trying to say it in English, it was intentionally, so he took the intentional walk. So later on in the game, Morris apologized at the top of the ninth inning. Ohtani came up to bat. He addressed his remarks on the telecast and offered his sincere apology. And it's offended anybody, he says, especially the Asian community. I am sincerely sorry for my remarks, not trying to hurt anybody. So, again, another announcer opened up his mouth, making a dumb mistake, and now he's suspended until further notice. An longtime NBA journalist, Jackie McCullough, will retire from ESPN on August 31st, ending a decade-long tenure with the ESPN company. McMullen has been an NBA reporter for 40 years, joined ESPN in 2010. After a long career with the Boston Globe, she has appeared on ESPN platform as senior writer for the ESPN.com, as well as SportsCenter, The Jump, and Outside the Line. Now, basketball, we got 5 games. NBA starts in October, but Christmas Day is their big games. Christmas Day, you got Atlanta Hawks versus the New York Knicks. Boston Celtics at Milwaukee Bucks, world champions, will hoist their banner and receive their championship rings. Golden State Warriors versus the Phoenix Suns. And the big game, that game might start around 8 o'clock on Christmas Day. That's a prime time game. The Brooklyn Nets travel to L.A. to meet the L.A. Lakers. The last game, Dallas versus Utah. We don't have the channels and the cable channels yet. That will come later on. This day, August 20th, 1915, Chicago White Sox obtained shoeless Joe Jackson from the Cleveland Indians for Robert Roth, Larry Chappelle, and Ed Kepler for $31,500. That's a lot of money back then. 1920, Jim Thorpe, installed as president of the American Football Association, and was formed later known as the NFL. Many people don't know the NFL was once called the American Professional Association, but now it's called NFL. 1938, New York Yankees future Hall of Famer first baseman Lou Gehrig hits his career record and final 23rd Grand Slam home run, 11-3 went over the Philadelphia A's. 1945, 17-year-old Brooklyn Dodger utility Tommy Brown becomes the youngest player to hit a home run in a major league game at 17 years old, as I said. was 11-1 win over Pittsburgh. 1964, Yankee Phil Blitz plays the harmonica on the bus despite, when I say despite, of Yogi Berra's orders. Now, who in the hell is Yogi Berra to tell somebody he cannot play a harmonica? But Yogi Berra has 10 championship rings, so I guess he has a lot of say-so. 1965, Eddie Matthews and Hank Aaron passed Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, hitting 772 home runs while playing together on the same team. 1974, Nolan Ryan pitched and measured a record 100.4 miles per hour. That's a lot of heat on a fastball. 1985, Dwight Gooden, first pitcher to strike out 200-plus batters in his first season. 1989, Howard Johnson joins Willie Mays, Barry Bonds hitting 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases in a season. And in 1990, George Steinbrenner steps down as New York Yankee owner. Birthdays: 1931, Don King, boxing promoter, born in Cleveland, Ohio. 1944, former Yankee great Greg Nettles, born in San Diego, California. 1954, basketball player Quinn Buckner was born in Phoenix, Illinois. Not Phoenix, Arizona, Phoenix, Illinois. And in 1973, Todd Belton, born was in Knoxville, Tennessee. And that is sports.
Hey, that story, I love that story. The harmonica player on that bus for the Yankees, the harmonica player was Phil Linz. Phil Linz was a harmonica player on that bus. And yeah, you're right. Yogi got irritated. He got irritated by that. And he told him to stop playing it. But Phil Linz didn't hear them. And he turned over to Mickey Mantle. He said, what did he say? And Mickey Mantle said, play it louder.
Okay, I like that story. When I saw that story, I definitely got to put this in.
That was a great story. I love that story. And Mickey Mantle, he was a prankster anyway. You know, he was a prankster anyway. So Yogi Berra was irritated by that harmonica. It was Phil Linz, and he was irritated, and he said stop playing making that noise, and he turned to Mickey Mantle. Phil Linz turned to Mickey Mantle and said, what did he say? Mickey Mantle said, play it louder.
Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra were great friends back in those days too.
Yeah, and they all him, Mickey Mantle, Ralph, let's see, not Ralph, Hank Bauer.
Hank Bauer, Billy Martin, Ford, they were all good friends. Yeah,
they were all good friends,
and Phil Rizzuto too.
Yeah, and they were all carousing together at night. They played the game during the day and went out. I think there was their time as a Rat Packers. That they were Rat Packers, and they went out and partied all night, drank all night, and went back and played the game. And there was a story of Joe Pepitone. I don't know if you remember Joe Pepitone. He was
Pepitone, number 25.
Number 25. He played for the Yankees. Played first base for the Yankees. And they had a big party at Frank Sinatra's house. So Mantle came there, Mickey Mantle came there, and Joe Pepitone, he met this girl over there, and Frank Sinatra begged for the girl, and Frank Sinatra took the girl back to his room and left Joe Pepitone out there with the girl, without the girl. And Mantle got a little drunk and went back out there and started swinging, and the guys were laughing at him in the dugout because they knew.
Wow.
Oh boy, it must have been fun to be a Yankee back then.
I guess so. You hang out, you have parties, you have fun.
Yeah.
And then the next day you play baseball.
Yeah.
With a hangover.
Yeah, with a hangover. You know, and you know something. The funny thing about that, Brian, all of those guys, they weren't getting paid in $1 million brackets. There was no $1 million bracket back then. I mean, they made good money, but they didn't make the money that they're making today. And they went out there and played that game like their lives depended on it. Today, these guys, I don't know, not all of them. I don't say all of them, but some of these guys.
The difference today is that these guys, they only want, it seems like the majority of them, not all of them, they just want to collect a paycheck. Those guys back then, they have love and passion for the game. Yeah. And they love to party too and have fun, including Babe Ruth. But they still found time to, when business was time to set in, they had passion for the love of the game, and they interact with the fans back then too.
Yeah.
Now it's different.
Yeah. and they when they played with some of them had injuries. They wouldn't even tell their trainers, and they went out and played anyway.
Yeah.
Today's guys, if they clip a nail off their finger, they want to take off. I got a hung nail, so I can't play today.
They put on the disabled list.
Yeah, so I don't know. But baseball back then, I really enjoyed baseball back then, back when Willie Mays and all of those guys were playing, the key guys, all of those key guys. They made the game fun. They made you, when you wanted to go, you paid the money to go see them play, and it was well worth the money because they entertained you. They played ball for you. That was it. Well, Brian, the Yankees, speaking of the Yankees, they did win that game last night. So
they on a hot streak. They are on fire. You can't stop them now.
Yeah.
You got guys back off of COVID-19.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that they're still here with us, and they're playing baseball. They're hitting the ball. They're hitting the ball out of their minds, and the Red Sox fans and the Red Sox are not doing well.
Yeah.
But Yankees are right there. They're the number one wild card team, so look out.
That made it 7. Last night made it 7 in a row.
7 in a row,
so That was great. Well, keep my fingers crossed, as I always say, for better or worse.
That's right.
Okay, Brian, listen, I hope you get your new smoker, take care of it, and I hope you have a good weekend, too.
Okay, everybody enjoy the weekend. Take care, be safe, wear your mask.
That's good. Good thought. Take care of yourself. That was Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. He's here every Friday around this time, and he'll give you that information. It's good to talk to him about sports. I love sports. I talk about it all day if I could. So that's his half of the 2020 feature. Second half of the 2020 feature is coming up in just a couple of minutes with DJ Pete. He's coming along with entertainment and entertainment news, and he'll tell about all of those birthdays of the people of notoriety of the week. So all of that's coming up. And later on, as I said before, we're going to be giving you the updates, and we'll tell you about movies on Turner Classic, those classic movies that you love so much. We have some that we're going to talk about, and all that's coming up. And it's you. And if you have anything to say, of course, by all means, say it. I want to say hello to Naoto out of Kobe, Japan. He came in. He just has some news for us. He says that it has been a long rain in Japan this week. And he says, as a result, many people died in the landslides. Oh, it must have been dangerous out there. So there's a lot of rain out there, right? Flooding. We got that hurricane, that big hurricane coming in here, and it's going to hit our area pretty soon. We may not get the actual hurricane, but we're going to get a lot of torrential downpours that's coming down. And so batten down the hatchet. So I hope everything is safe in Japan. I'm glad you're safe, Naoto. And you needn't say any more about the weather because you said it all. You said it all. That's all I need to know, that the weather is tough out there, and people lost their lives due to that weather. So we want to thank you for that information, Naoto. And for all of you who are coming in, if you're outside of New York, ladies and gentlemen, please give us your weather forecast. We'd love to hear from you. I gave you mine already, and New York's weather is going to be a little, I think the worst part is going to be Sunday. So if you're going to church, make sure you take your umbrella, build an ark, take a rowboat or whatever you do to get to church. Or if you want to just stay home, just stay home. Good morning, Ruby. How are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. Ruby's coming out of Brooklyn, New York. I'm very partial to her because that's my hometown, Brooklyn, New York. And good morning to you. Thanks for being out there. And so Brian is sending up those prayers too for the people in Kobe, Japan. We all pray for the people in Kobe, Japan, and all the people around the world who are affected by those heavy rains and downpours and all of that. We have a whisper of prayer to each and every one of you out there. I want to say hello again to all of you who are watching, all of you guys on Facebook. We just made our return just last night. We were gone away for about 30 days. I keep telling that story, or I keep telling the story, but for those of you who have just walked in and wonder where we were all of this time, we didn't really go anywhere. We were just doing our broadcast on YouTube while Facebook had us down for 30 days due to some kind of posting that we did some time ago, and it came back about a year and a half later. I don't understand. Brian mentioned something about people with all of this hatred, and that's why he shuts his Facebook down. And they don't get locked up in Facebook jail, but I do, just by posting something that's simply harmless. I don't know. I'm off of it. I'm going to DJ Pete out in Portland, Maine right now, and he's going to give us his information. He's part of the 2020 feature cast right here. And Pete, how are you today?
I'm doing good. I just popped in the weather forecast here for Portland, Maine. Partly sunny or cloudy. I'm not sure because the weather forecast says it's cloudy, but I can see the sun right now. So something's going on here.
Okay.
Highs 83, lows 70 here. Got about 6 people this week for stuff. Robert Lee Helms, also known as Bobby Helms, born August 15th, 1933. He was a country music singer, best known for his 1957 Christmas hit, Jingle Bell Rock. I'm sure a lot of people have heard that over the years. Born August 20... Well, that's good. I'm going to pass that one over. Born August 16th, 1915, Al Hibbler, American baritone vocalist, sang with Duke Ellington, had a lot of R&B tunes over the years with his own band. Really great stuff from him. One of the Ellington numbers that he was featured on was Do Nothing Till You Hear From Me.
Yeah.
Let's see. August 16th, 1977, Elvis Presley passed away that day. The day before, or the day after that, the 17th, he was supposed to be playing in Portland, Maine. And they had the concert venue all set up for him and the hotel room and things like that. I remember after the fact when he passed away, some radio station somehow got a hold of the linens from the hotel room he was supposed to stay at and started auctioning it.
Everyone wants to capitalize.
On the air, so I don't know how they did it, but they did it. Let's see. Born August 20th, 1933. That's today. Roland James. It's an interesting name. Roland. Last name Janes. American rockabilly guitarist, record producer at Sun Records between 1956 and 63. The reason I say this is he was not just a session guitarist, but he was a member of Billy Lee Riley's band, the Little Green Men. He was a member of Jerry Lee Lewis's band. He worked with Charlie Rich, with Sonny Burgess, many other people that were at Sun Records in the early days. And lastly, I have here, born August 21st, 1904, the Count, William James Count Basie, American jazz pianist, organist, bandleader, composer. 1935, he formed his Count Basie Orchestra, and many great tunes from him. And that's all I have this week, Frank.
Okay, and let's see. We're going to celebrate with Demi Lovato, little pop singer, young girl. Well, she's not young anymore. She's 29 today. Demi. It's funny how I can look back on watching these kids when they were little, like Justin Bieber and all of these people, and now they're older than I am. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's 29 today. Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin is 73 today. The late Isaac Hayes would have been 79, and country singer the late Jim Reeves would have been 98 today. And those are the birthdays I have. Here's something I wanted to talk to you. I was going to save this one for later, Pete, but this comes down your alley because you talk about entertainment. I'm pretty sure you heard by now that Tony Bennett was forced to retire this week. Tony Bennett retires from performing following a tour cancellation. And as you already know, he's 95 years old. And let's see, he had a 95th birthday concert at a Radio City Music Hall with Lady Gaga. Yeah, and that's where his son Danny announced this. By the way, News came after cancellation reminder of 2020 of the 2021 tour, and they retired him because he's been suffering with Alzheimer's since 2016. So retirement of Tony Bennett. What do you say?
Yeah, I got to set up his show 2017 here in Portland. He was here, and it was an amazing show he put on.
Yeah, he's one of the last. He's one of the last of the American songbook artists. The last.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else. I mean, I guess you could say. I guess you could throw Steve. I don't know. I guess you could throw Steve. Edie Gourmet's husband, Steve Lawrence. I guess you can throw him in there. I don't know.
Is he still around?
Oh yeah, he's still around.
Yeah.
And he's a Brooklyn boy too, by the way. No, he's still around. I don't know if you could count him, but Tony Bennett. I mean, this guy goes way back. He's up there. He was up there with came along with Sinatra and Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, and all of those guys. And Mel Torme, all of those guys, and he is the last of the of what we got.
Yeah,
the American songbook. Yeah, he's
last of the great entertainers. So.
And here's a guy I've heard him on so many interviews. One announcer, he was being interviewed, and the guy that interviewed asked him. He says, "Well, are you going to ever retire?" He says, "No way, I'm never going to retire." He said that. And the reason why I guess if he was able, he would do it. He would do it. He would just stay there, because you could tell when a person loved what they do. Tony Bennett had this attitude about him when he went on stage. I didn't have the pleasure of watching him on stage personally, but just watching his songs, his concerts on TV and things like that, always had that smile on his face. You ever meet a person that, even though they weren't smiling, always looked like they were smiling?
Yeah.
Well, that was Tony Bennett, and love what he did. And I understand why he didn't want to retire, but listen. He gave us some great years. And I really appreciate him. But if he were ever, by some reason, come out of retirement just for one more concert, I want to make it my business to go, because, like I said, I never really had the pleasure of seeing him.
He's a great entertainer. So
there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Okay, Pete, that was great. Thanks a lot for your input today and giving us that information. And I guess we'll see you back here. And welcome back to Facebook.
Yeah, definitely. Glad you're back on Facebook. And shout out to Brian and everybody else watching today. And we'll hopefully see you next week.
So I hope so. You take care of yourself. Have a great
day.
Have a great weekend. Okay, that's DJ Pete, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, he's always here. He just wrapped up his part of the 2020 feature as Brian comes in 20 past the hour. He comes in 20 to the hour with, of course, entertainment news and, of course, announcing all of those birthdays of people of notoriety in the entertainment world. So that's what we have. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. What would the coffee hour be without coffee? Excuse me while I just shoot up. And just want to welcome you guys back. I want to say hello to the people on Facebook. We were gone for a while, but we're back. And I want to thank all of you for hanging in there with us, enduring this. I mean, because it was tough on us as well, but we want to thank you guys for enduring. Hello to Deborah Lawrence. How you doing? Nice to see you again. Out of Brooklyn, New York, of course. Brooklyn. All my people from Brooklyn. Come on in. I'm partial to people in Brooklyn. I tell great people came out of Brooklyn. I just mentioned Steve Lawrence came out of Brooklyn, right? Barbara Streisand out of Brooklyn. Everybody's out of Brooklyn, Tommy Davis, an old Dodger. You don't go back that far, maybe, but Tommy Davis was from Brooklyn. Floyd Patterson, the boxer, one of my heroes back then. He was from Brooklyn. Everybody's from Brooklyn. So it's good to be from Brooklyn. Okay, we've got more information. We're going to tell you more about the movie picks that we have for you. But first, I didn't want to neglect DJ Pete's radio show. You know, we always talk about that after he goes off the air. So you can catch DJ Pete on www.radioairwaves.co.uk. Okay, you can catch him on there Mondays between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern. And also you can catch him on WMPG Radio in Portland, Maine. That's his hometown where he is. The station is right around the corner from him too, so he doesn't have any problem getting there. And it's not around the corner from you, or maybe the signal doesn't reach you. Go to the website, www.mpg.org, and you can catch DJ Pete every Tuesday or every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. And as I said, all times are Eastern in the United States and Canada too. So there you go. It's now 9 minutes before the hour. It's 9 minutes before the hour. And of course, we want to thank all. I see more people coming in. And if you're just coming in for the first time, we thank you for being with us. Don't make it your last time. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can always subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that. This way you'll never miss a show. And you'll always be on top of what we do here. You could always check us out when we post something, live show, or maybe something else like a pre-recorded tape or something. Anything that we do on YouTube, you could be sure that it's there. You'll get notification on that. And you won't miss it. And so there you go. And so let me see. I don't want to miss anyone. Okay, I talked to see DJ Pete there. He gave us that information. I gave you that information there. Let's see. I think, okay, I acknowledged everybody. So I waved to everybody. There's Deborah, there's Brian. Brian is still out there. Ruby Doobie. And let's see, I spoke to William. Hi, William. Nice to see you guys. And everybody else out there. It wouldn't hurt too. You know what you ought to do too, and I really would appreciate this. Anytime we go on the air live, if you're on, just tap your friends, tag this show to your friends, bring them all out here and let's have a ball every week. We're out here every Friday, every ding dong ring a ding Friday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. And we sip a little coffee and have a little fun and talk a lot of things together. And if there's anything in particular that you would like to talk about that we didn't get into, please, we can do that. It's always good to do that. Okay, those movies. Each week I give you my picks of the week on Turner Classic Movies. I give you those every week, right? I didn't find anything too interesting this week to pick out, but I did find something that I think you might be interested in. If you're a Katharine Hepburn fan, if you like Katharine Hepburn movies, she has a mini marathon coming up Saturday morning, starting Saturday morning, tomorrow morning Eastern at 6 a.m. Eastern, of a lot of her movies, maybe not all of them, but a lot of her movies. A big marathon from Saturday morning at 6 a.m. to the next day, Sunday morning at 6 a.m. And there are a lot of great movies that you could watch. It's a mini marathon. The first one, and they're all in order as you watch them. I don't know if you're going to have that endurance to stay up and watch them all in a row like that. You might want to, the ones that you think you might miss, you may want to DVR them and watch them later. But they're all in a row here. The first one starts back in 1935, a movie called Break of Heart. Then you have Christopher Song back in 1933. After that, there's A Woman Rebels back in 1936. Alice Adams comes on after that, 1935. Bringing Up Baby goes back to 1938. Then you have Woman of the Year back in 1942. The Sea of Grass back in 1947. Let me explain that one. The Sea of Grass, just meaning grass, that you could, a lawn that you could sit on, not the other one. And these days you have to explain everything. Okay, The Sea of Grass, that's in 1947. After that, you have one that starred Katharine Hepburn along with Spencer Tracy. Adam's Rib, 1949, is another one with Spencer Tracy. Desk Set, back in 1957. Then you have The Rainmaker, back in 1956. And then this The Lion in the Winter, back in 1968. Here's something that's not actually a movie, but it's like a documentary. It's called All About Me. It's a self-portrait of Katharine Hepburn. I've seen that before, and they're going to repeat it again. And then finally, you have The Iron Petticoat, back in 1956. So there you have all of these Katharine Hepburn movies. If you love Katharine Hepburn movies, you'll love that. And you'll love all of the ones I just said. Now, for instance, if I know I didn't give you the usual picks, but that doesn't mean there's not other things on Turner Classic Movies that you might enjoy. All you have to do is just go there, go to the channel and go through the schedule, and you can look right through it, and you might see something that you like. You might want to DVR it later on, or wait for it to come on and watch it in real time. You might want to do that. And then that's a good way to do that. Also, if you have cable, you can go on Movie on Demand. Of course, they have all of those networks, including Turner Classic Movies. All you have to do is hit the icon. They have a row of all of the movies that you might want to see. And then they have all of the networks of other movies and movie networks you could see. You can go down the line, and if you like sports, you go to some of the sports channels that are there and check out what you might have missed. Like, for instance, I love wrestling, and I will never miss it. And if I do, I can always go back the following day or the day after and check out the one that I missed. And there's so many other things. So all of the networks are there, all of the comedy shows are there, and you can watch them all, and it'll keep you occupied. Like if you're going to have like a bad Sunday of inclement weather like we're going to have here in New York, and if you don't want to go to church and you want to stay home, you might want to use that time to catch up on all the movies that you have missed. I guess I know I will. Sunday is going to be, oh boy. I usually like to call that stay in bed Sunday, whatever, any kind of Sunday you want to use, and just stay at home and watch that. So let me quickly repeat those Katharine Hepburn movies, starting at 6 a.m. Saturday morning to 6 a.m. on Sunday. You have Break of Heart, Christopher's Song, A Woman's Rebel, and you have Alice Adams, Bringing Up Baby, Woman of the Year, The Sea of Grass, Adam's Rib, Desk Set, The Rainmaker, The Lion in Winter, and the documentary All About Me, a self-portrait of Katharine Hepburn, and The Iron Petticoat. Any of those movies sound familiar to you? You want to catch up on them? Go there and check them out. And there's so many others. So there you go. We wrapped up all of that. We wrapped up all of our features for today. And if there's anything else that you want to talk about, we would love to hear from you. If you want to get in touch with me personally, you can do that. That's simple, easy. All you have to do, if you're watching us on Facebook, you look over here. I think it's over here. You can see in the section over there, I have my telephone number, my email address, all of that will get you in touch with me if you have anything to say. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see in the chat area, way at the top, the very top, you see the chat area, that same information, whatever information I give to YouTube. Of course, you guys on Facebook will get it the same. And just go there and you'll see my telephone number and my email address. And if you just want to say hi, that's good too. If you have any suggestions or ideas about the show, we'll be glad to listen to you and take it on. So I want to thank all of you guys for being with us. I am going home. I want to get the weekend going right now. But I will be back here Thursday night, right? Thursday night for Talk Back Live. We're on every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. You can check us out here. We simulcast on Facebook and YouTube together, as we always do. And you can check us out. And we'll see you then. Other than that, I'll be back here next week at 10 a.m. from 10 to 11, more of the coffee hour. Brian Camp will be with me. DJ Pete will be with me. Of course, Brian Camp will also be with me on Talk Back Live, too, with sports, DJ Pete, of course, with entertainment news. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I will see you back here next week. You take care of yourself, and don't spend your money in one place. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.